Hi, it's Megan. I have another one of my perfume reviews, and this is a perfume that I got to put on my website, Essential Beauty, so you can get it there if you want it, but it's available elsewhere. And so this is one of the two Andy Tauerville scents. So basically, Andy Tauer is a Swiss perfumer, kind of an indie, high-end perfumer, and his scents range for about 140. He has Roses de Kandahar and Maroc, oh god, I'm forgetting the name of it, Le Desert of Maroc or something, that seem to sell out all the time, and they're about $140 a bottle. And so the Tauerville line is where he basically is saying that he wants to play around and be creative, let the creative juices flow, and kind of focus on a note, but this being someone who creates complex perfumes, the notes are never that simple. So I did a review for the Vanilla Flash, and I'll put a link in the description to this video, to that video. And then now I'm doing the Rose Flash. So Vanilla Flash was released in 2015, and Rose Flash was released in 2014. And so far, these are the only scents that have been released. And it comes in two sizes. A 10 milliliter roll-on, which is $30, about $30. And then a 30 milliliter, or 1 ounce, like this, which is $63. So these are cheaper ounce per ounce than his regular perfumes. But part of what he's done is he stripped down the packaging, made it simpler, and then he's also not sampling, and the distribution's a little bit different. So you can see kind of that intense color. I just wanted to show that. I just think that's pretty impressive. So that's one of the first things that I'm gonna comment on. This perfume is what, 20% perfume concentration, and it really is just, as with a lot of boutique firms that make perfume, or a lot of boutique perfumes, it's this intense, rich scent that just, I don't know, they smell less watered down to me than kind of some of the commercial perfumes, which I do love a lot of the commercial perfumes too, but it's like comparing apples and oranges sometimes. There's just such an intensity to these scents that it's like, wow, this is gorgeous. And when I spray this on, I kid you not, I can smell it faintly on my wrist the next morning. So this is a scent that just really lasts. So he's saying about this that he's creating his perfect rose. And he initially did not release any base notes or other notes. He just said it's rose. But it's been around for a year now, so there are a lot of reviews online. And then also you smell it, you can start figuring out what the notes are. So he says, Rose Flash comes without notes. We think that sometimes perfumes need to be experienced for what they are. And he quotes one of his reviewers, Rose Flash, a shamelessly diffusive, tenacious, strength creation, so true, overflowing with the green spices, citruses, woods, and creamy intimacies, which enter your very soul when you stick your nose into a bona fide, scented living rose. Okay, I'm not as poetic as some people who review perfumes, so I'm going to tell you what I got out of it. So when I first spray it on, I get this slightly jammy, very concentrated rose scent. And that lasts 5 minutes tops. It dries down into its complexity. So first you get hit with a rose, and this is like a ripe rose. This is like, the word jammy is a good one, although not everyone smelled the jamminess. A lot of people did. It's like a richness, a slight warmth, a slight sweetness. Other reviewers have commented raspberry, honey, which will give you kind of that depth of almost a super concentrated, again, ripe rose. Then, I missed this. The orange colors to the richness in natural rose absolute without artificial coloring. And I did not know that. It really does project well as it starts to kind of wear. It's one of those scents that smells different an hour from when you first spray it, different half an hour. It kind of gets this maturity and this really intense shifts, as you can smell. It's not like a total shift in the way it smells. You can just get a little bit more of the undertones, different undertones at different times. So the rose is always there. There's also a vanilla, very, very faint vanilla. A woody note, resin, which is kind of like a tarry kind of a thing, sappy tar, but very, very light. So this is not this borders on being unisex, and I think it crosses over into being unisex, but this is not like a heavy wood resin kind of a scent. These are soft, soft undertones. And I also get that vanilla, hints of cinnamon and cloves, and then just maybe a little bit of tobacco, although honestly, most other reviewers didn't smell the tobacco, and there are other people that said they smelled oud, but most people don't smell the oud, so it's almost got a personal thing that develops, which always happens with perfumes anyway. It always smells slightly different on one person versus on another person, but for me, I didn't get the oud. Then also there's a little bit of patchouli, which again, you know, you're going to the cinnamon and the cloves. Now you're getting a little bit of an incense, but I found that the patchouli was super, super, super soft, and I also felt like I didn't always get that. I got it maybe 2 or 3 hours in, but then 6 or 7, no, I didn't get it. Sandalwood, now I do think that's a really good thing to put in this description. I did get a hint of sandalwood, then lavender, benzoin, I read praline, geranium, and musk. So you can see different people are smelling different things. One description I particularly like, they say the resins smooth out to more ambery scent, and the incensey and resinous notes that make up the Tauerville. I guess that's kind of what Handy Tauer is known for. And they warm up and balance the rose. And I thought that that was a really good way of describing it. So overall, who would like it and who won't? First of all, the advantages of this scent are just, it's so beautiful. It's just so rich and intense and concentrated, and just the different notes balance out so well. So you don't get that kind of rose garden cliche rose thing going on, or that cheap watery rose, which I sometimes smell in perfumes that I just don't honestly like as much as I actually love rose. That cheap watery rose just doesn't do it for me. So you need to like that kind of full rich scent, and then you have to be up for the complexity. This is not super feminine. It is a rose that's not that sweet girly kind of a rose that really a man could wear. And a lot of Middle Eastern scents that are unisex or even men's scents do use rose in them, because it does add that kind of dusky richness. And what I didn't get out of this scent was, I find a lot of roses have like a dustiness to them. This one doesn't have that at all. It's more clean. Who won't like it? You know, if you like sweeter scents or sweeter, more typically flowery floral scents, then you're probably going to be disappointed, because this one's more complex, less kind of that simple floral thing. So anyway, that's what I have to say about this. Like I said, is on my site, Essential Beauty. And if I were to pick between the two, between vanilla and rose, honestly, it depends on my day. One day I like one better, and the other day I like the other one better. So they're both total winners. Anyway, I would love to hear if there are perfume brands that I have not talked about that I should know about or should review. I do get to things. Unfortunately, lately it's been slower rather than faster. Just busy. And comments, thoughts, suggestions on this perfume are really welcome. And then also, please subscribe on YouTube. It does help me a lot.